Hello and welcome back to the Dream League Season 13 EU Qualifiers, as we have the qualifying match for the minor on our hands, and Team Singularity going to be battling it up against Wind and Rain for the final slot in the minor. Exciting stuff here, and Wind and Rain have taken the first victory in a fairly compelling way. Team Singularity gonna have to bring something better to the table for game number 2. But judging by the draft so far, it does seem like they're taking it in a slightly different direction. Wind and Rain not really doubling down the whole push strat. They get their Shadow Fiend banned out as well. Meanwhile, Team Singularity have a fairly diverse and very mobile lineup. My name is Nomad, and joining me is Saberlight to get through this game.
What's up, gamers?
What do you think about Team Singularity? Team Singularity round 2, Redux, Electric Boogaloo.
What do I think about them? That they used to have a much better offlaner.
No, I meant the draft.
Oh, the draft. I like it a bit more because, I mean, I'm not sure with the Morphling pick. So far, from the games I saw, Morphling isn't really that good. I feel like every game I watched Morph, he lost. I mean, this hero is kinda... I don't know, it feels bad because it doesn't do anything. It's really bad on lane, so you're probably not gonna win lane with this hero, and you just want to farm, which is probably like not the best meta right now. I already like the Dire draft a bit more, actually a lot more than the Radiant one.
Yeah, we've got this Darkseer Spirit combo, which we used to see a long time ago. Hasn't really been around for a pretty long time now, but I'm pretty excited to see it. It's fun, it cuts waves, it's aggressive, and it's going to be a lot for this Morphling to deal with. However, he's not too bad at last hitting under tower, so the Morph player should be okay with this. I mean, we have the Venomancer, which is a pretty nice counter pick to the Dazzle. Although it's actually the first pick up here, so they put the Dazzle into the Veno. But yeah, Veno with this new healing reduction is pretty useful against any of these kind of healing heroes. So that's always nice to have on your team. Tiny.
Yeah, Veno is a really good hero, especially on offlane. I was playing it a lot. Feels really strong. Tiny also. I'm not. It's probably
Tiny mid.
Veno
Right?
5. Yeah, Tiny mid. PL carry and Veno 5 most likely. Which is interesting.
Yeah, I think it works though. I don't think they're going to struggle with this. Maybe a little bit greedy across the board, but then again, this is the patch for greed.
I feel like it's a patch like you can be greedy on supports but not on cores, because the thing about this patch is that supports, they don't really have to spend money on anything. It's like you can't buy Cure anymore. You can't buy you can buy Observer wards, but they don't cost anything. And by buying sentries, you're probably gonna get the money back because you are the one getting the money for the warding. So playing supports now feels really good, and I don't know. I feel like you can have greedy supports, but I don't think having greedy core is a good idea. Because, I mean, we'll see. But I think this Morphling might have some issues in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the hero just hasn't impressed me that much. Even in the Gyrocopter game, the Morphling still ended up losing out. That was against... Who was that against? I can't actually remember. But that was a team which picked Morphling into Gyro, and the Morphling was ahead for most of the game, and then eventually it still ended up losing to the Gyro, and I think that was Team Secret who managed to beat that morph. So let's rush.
Yeah, they needed something against Spear. So far they didn't have anything.
Yeah,
but
this is a nice hero.
What I'm a bit afraid of for Team Singularity is that they don't have much catch again. Like, they have Centaur Stump, so once he gets Blink, like, they can fight, but until then it's really hard for them to start a fight. They have no initiation whatsoever. They might have like use on Excalibur eventually, but until then they can't really initiate. While for Wind and Rain, they can just charge in. Tiny might have Blink, so those are already 2 ways of initiating the fight.
Yeah, and Leshrac is a hero which really hates being charged down. Like, this isn't a hero which is going to enjoy being stunned, locked in the middle of a team fight. He wants to be mobile, he wants to be getting his damage off, he wants to be chasing down the relevant targets and trying to finish heroes off. The worst thing you can do as Leshrac is jump into a fight, get all your damage off, and then not actually find your team any kills. Maybe the Morphling can be jumping around the backlines of the team fight, finishing off what the Leshrac weakens, but that's going to be tricky, especially with Surge in the game and especially with a Tiny ready to punish as well, so you got to be careful. That said, they don't have any of these kind of instant stuns, instant lockdowns, or anything to catch the Morphling out when he's fully agi, and you're able to get a cheeky kill on him. That doesn't look like it's going to be happening, so a relatively
That's true.
decent morph game in that sense, but still, yeah, I'm worried about the lack of initiation. Hopefully the Centaur finds a decent timing on his blink.
I mean, depends, because they have surge charge, so like that's really quick. If there's level 4 surge and level 4 charge, like you have like half a second to react, depending on your vision. But yeah, Spirit Breaker, as you said, is really good against Lash, especially because Lash, what he likes to do is just buy travels and outpush the side lanes. But it's extremely hard to do that when enemy have Spirit Breaker and he can just charge you.
Yeah, true. The global punish is a pretty big deal. And a classic counterpick to the Nature's Prophet as well, who they also have on their team. So a lot of oppression going to be coming out on these global heroes as it comes out. Maybe Excalibur goes for something else. I mean, if you have the Nature's Prophet, do you really need 2 boots of travel on Leshrac as well as the global teleport on Nature's Prophet?
I don't think he's gonna buy it. I don't like I mean, the item is really good to this patch because you can TP on Outpost without having like the 6-second TP. You only TP with 2 seconds. So the item is really good, but I don't think it's good this game. So I hope he goes for something like Use. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but I like the entire draft way more because the only way SNG have for Phantom Lancer is Leshrac.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise,
and he's going to get himself a hood as well, so I would imagine. So he's probably not going to be that scared of Leshrac as the game goes on. Might even go for a BKB, honestly. I mean, it's not looking like there's many other threats on the team to have to worry about, but we'll see what he ends up doing, what his answer is. I don't know. I think there's a lot on Hester Joe here to do some heavy lifting. As I said, getting good timing on this blink would be very useful. I'm not sure if the pipe is super necessary, so maybe he has the luxury of going for it. And who's going to get the bounty? It is going to be Nefrit. You wouldn't have missed that bounty, would you?
No. I wouldn't.
No.
Exactly.
Get it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of items on Centaur which are good this game. Crimson is really good, Pipe is really good, and Blink is really good. I think he'll go something like Hood into Blink. That's probably the best, and then buy the 2 remaining items.
Yeah, when there's a Dark Seer in the game, it's and a Tiny as well, you can still get bested. Look at Yul's positioning here, and Nika as well. They're just coming around to the back here. They might not realize it's happening right now, but Hesjo's suddenly surrounded. Iron has already used this Shadow Wave, but it's Nefrit who's also dropping kind of low as well. They've got to be careful. Hesjo going north into the trees here. Nika trying to chase him down. He's got a bash. Will not be able to find it with the poison coming through. I think they finished off Hesjo all the same. And there's a bash just to finish it off. There's your first blood. Down goes Hesjo.
That wouldn't happen to me.
No.
Just saying. But on the other lane, Boogie is skipping creeps against DNC.
Yeah, leading him on a merry old chase here and then TPing himself to safety.
TPing, but he didn't catch the second wave, so that might be a bit of a problem. I mean, doing this with Darkseer is kind of weird because you're gonna push in the lane with Iron Shells, so like double stacking the wave. Why you do it usually is because you want the enemy wave to push in, but by putting Iron Shells on your creeps, you're gonna push it under their tower. So like what he achieved by this is basically forcing Dino, or I mean DNC to go back, and that he's not hitting him. But other than that, I mean, which is fine.
Yeah, it's still a bit of
doing
space
pretty
in the
good.
lane. He's off to a good start, but Zitrax 13 and 10 right now, definitely enjoying his time in this lane. Meanwhile, over at mid, we've got Excalibur versus Wish. A lot of kill potential in this lane, so definitely want to keep an eye on, and they're going to go 100-0 very, very quickly. Or at least if Excalibur gets caught out, he will do. Excalibur might have to play the whittling game. Oh, Dazzle up in the top lane is going to go down, but he gets denied by Hesjo there, so that's going to be a no kill for Wind and Rain. But can they punish the Centaur whilst the Dazzle is gone? Well, he's actually back already, so definitely not.
I don't like this decision by Wind and Rain. Oh, wait. All that fought. They're going top.
Yeah, there's a charge forwards just to get a bit of harass onto the Dazzle, but in terms of actually committing to this kill, I don't think they really can. Not with Hesjo guarding Yol from hitting Iron for now. So these guys will be able to trade hits with one another, just trying to play around this pull which they've made on the Radiant and trying to grab these creeps, secure them if they can, but Yol doing his best. And now actually there's a TP in here on the Prophet coming in from behind, but Hesjo's dropping really low. Yol's going to be the target of this gank with a Shadow Wave with those treants there as well. That's a ton of damage coming down. Hesjo, he gets stunned up, and there's a bit of damage coming out onto him. DNZ's like, I'm going to deny him. They really shouldn't, because he's going to survive.
They might have denied him just so he heals up and TP's back. I think that could have been fine, not wasting the self.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's not even full from that self, which is always a bit of a feels bad.
I'm not sure why the Spirit Breaker didn't went for the kill. I think it's worth it, but maybe he was scared that he's not gonna get it and he's gonna feed. But I don't know. What I was saying before is that I don't like this decision to put tri-lane top. I feel like they should have just dual laned and make sure that this
mid
morphing has
lane,
nothing.
they toss back Excalibur under the tower. There's a charge coming in as well. Wish able to dodge out the stun. Is a charge going to arrive in time? It's certainly not. Neequa left empty-handed here on the Spirit Breaker. It was a TP all the way back to base for Excalibur though, so it's going to be a bit of a free time for Wish whilst these creeps are under this tower. Should be able to pick these up pretty easily.
No. I mean, this Morphling is free farming. He has 26 creeps in 4 minutes. I think this is gonna be a big issue for Dire.
Yeah, Zitrax having a free game was definitely not part of the plan here, I don't believe. And we mentioned in the drafting phase that it's pretty good Morphling game when you look at the tables they have on Wind and Rain, i.e. not that many. So we'll see how much Zitrax can take advantage of that fact.
Yeah, I don't know why they left Morphling to do whatever he wants in the first 4 minutes. Like, that's the best time to shut down Morphling. Level 1 to level 3. After that, it's extremely hard. SNG already having a 2k lead, 5 minutes in.
Yeah, it's feeling pretty great for them right now. This laning phase is going well, and the TP into middle lane as Excalibur's getting ganked right now, but his Iron's on top of him as well. Heals come out, and now the progression is going to turn onto Wish. Neequa comes in from behind, trying to find a bash onto somebody here, but it's not going to happen, so therefore the Tiny will die. And now they're looking towards Neequa as well. There might be another kill to be had here. Beautiful stun comes out from Excalibur, and Iron finishes off with a Shadow Wave. Beautiful plays in the middle lane. Singularity get 2 for nothing.
That was really good.
Yeah, if you can punish these the Tiny ganks, it always feels fantastic. Because Tiny is a hero which drops 2 spells on you. And if he doesn't kill you with those 2 spells, then he suddenly feels very, very weak. Avalanche on its own is a pretty mediocre spell. Same with Toss if you're not tossing back to someone. So if you don't combo them up properly and get a kill within the first kind of engagement, then it can feel a little bit awkward for these 4th position Tinies in the early game. Now Neequa comes charging through in the top lane, just making his presence known to everybody up here. Poison Touch does come out on Tim, but I'm not too sure why as he runs himself back.
And what feels even better is that the Spirit Breaker's doing nothing. For the first 6 minutes he got first blood, and from that point he's useless.
Yeah, he's looking
which is really
right
good.
Now. Excalibur's actually turned up in this top lane, and they're going to see if they can get a kill onto Nefbrit, but Nefbrit is moving pretty well right now as Hesjo gets taken down by Wish. Everybody turning up to this top lane right now as Excalibur just holding on to that Pulse Nova, trying to turn it around, but the stun's dodged out by both. Excalibur gets himself back. Meanwhile, Wind and Rain, they'll settle with just 1 kill for now. Or well, they actually, as the charge comes forwards, DNZ is going to be the target of this one, and there's a bash as well. Gale comes through, and DNZ is dropped down. Meanwhile, Hesjo comes flying in from behind, and Neequa will probably be put to bed right now, so they get at least something in response. It is going to be the Spirit Breaker, but all in all, I think that was pretty good for Wind and Rain. They make a rotation successfully. They kill off Hesjo, which we mentioned is a pretty core part of the Singularity draft. I don't think they'll be too sad about leaving their Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breakers dying is kind of what they do.
What's really sad is that Darkseer has 10 creeps. I noticed
10?
this right now, but Zitrax has 38 last hits.
God.
This
38
lane is...
denies.
Oh, denies. Yeah.
53 last hits. This Zitrax going for records right now. That's actually insane.
I'm not sure why he wasn't skipping with Boogie.
Yeah, honestly, it seems like it would have made a lot of sense, but... Zitrax are trying to put on the pressure right now, but there's a TP coming in, and it's Excalibur right behind them. Here comes a charge from a Zitrax who's stolen the form of the Spirit Breaker and will be able to bring him down. Very nicely done. Question. If you're playing Morphling and you turn into the Spirit Breaker before your right click lands, Is there a possibility to greater bash with your right clicks?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's pretty next level, but unfortunately he's got very, very fast projectile speeds, so
Yeah.
kind of hard.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, this bot lane is disaster for Dire. They could have. I'm pretty sure they could have destroyed this morph, and instead Darkseer has nothing, and morph is level 8 with 63 losses. So hopefully it's gonna be enough for SNG to carry this game.
Yeah,
I'm
Zitrax,
using
he's
Mango Tree as a word.
Whereabouts is it?
Uh,
Oh, I see it. Literally on the
Mod
ward
Shrine.
spot.
Yeah.
I mean, this
like
upsets me a
this.
little bit because it means you don't get your mangoes.
But he's using Courier to pick them up. It's
Oh, yeah.
this is actually genius. Oh my god, I love this. It's a ward, and you just pick up the mangoes with Courier.
Yeah, I mean, that's what somebody did on my first pub game I played of the patch. Somebody planted the mango tree outside base and then just used all their couriers to pick them up. So everyone had a constant mango in their inventory. As there's a bit of engagement coming out in the top lane. Nikwa might be the target as Yell's TPing out, so they can't really bring him down anymore. Nikwa does have that TP, but with Excalibur coming over, they're going to have a stun. Hesjo's there as well. Nikwa in the trees, maybe looking for a charge here. Needs to do it now. Will do it. Excalibur, though, he manages to land the stun mid-charge. Nikwa just got played. And they will grab themselves a kill onto this Spirit Breaker and probably look to turn this into a push-up here in the top lane. Meanwhile, as usual, Zitrax just farming up peacefully in the bottom lane, completely ignored.
Really nice stun from Excalibur.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Some
attack.
next level play.
Pretty sick. Nikwa feeling very useless this game so far. Only has Bracer, Orb of Venom, Gauntlets of Strength, and that's about it. Looking for a Spirit Vessel, but...
Outposts are probably gonna be 1-for-1.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, Wind and Rain bring in Wish down here just to make extra certain that they'll be able to take control of this outpost.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Meanwhile, Hesjo's going to go and grab the top one.
Is under attack.
Wish is going drums, which is really good item on Tiny this patch since it gives attack speed. But I would kind of like blink on the Tiny because I don't think there's any other way to kill the Morphling and Slash. Like if he had blink, there's a slight chance he might find the Morphling with his 850 HP and just burst him down. That would be really good for his team. But he's going the carry build.
Yeah, it's delicate balance, isn't it? Sometimes you just want to be able to get the freebie onto the Morphling, and if it happens, it feels great, but if that never happens, then you definitely find yourself wishing you had a bit more stats. But to be fair, the tower pushing potential of the Tiny when he goes for these kind of aura and attack speed items is just pretty berserk. Meanwhile, Excalibur finding a kill behind a tower down here in the bottom lane, and Nikwa is just wherever he goes, just seems to be feeding.
Yeah. I don't think they used Spirit Break correctly.
No, definitely feel... I mean, we've seen the combo a ton of times, you know? Boogie, Spirit Breaker, Darkseer, Iron Shell the Spirit Breaker, Darkseer the Iron Shell the Darkseer, and just have them both sit on the first wave, kill the entire first wave, carries under tower trying to CS. It's tricky, but I can also understand why you wouldn't want to do that versus a Morphling though, right? Because he's a...
I feel like you want to do it especially versus Morphling, because this hero is really useless. Yeah, like I would even say that Morphling is the weakest hero on a lane, level 1, 2. So like,
and here we go, they're starting the fight onto Wish in the middle lane. The TP comes in, the stun from the trees, and that's going to put an end to the Tiny. Even committing the Stampede to this one, and immediately the run down the lane in order to get this tower. And they're making sure that Boogie does not get the deny in. He's chased right the way back. No chances.
like what's even the hardest part about this is that Dire only hero which wanna build Urn on their team is Spirit Breaker. So if this hero has a good game, they can just rush Vessel, and Morphling's game's really hard. But right now Nikwa has boots, brown boots, and Bracer.
He's a poor boy.
Yeah.
Begging on the sides of the streets.
Has the Cho, he might be in trouble. Never mind.
There is a sentry, he's like skirting in and out of it right now, but I don't think they have any more vision for him, so safe enough for now. Niqua might be looking for the charge. There's a lot of heroes from Wind and Rain down here. If they could get a kill onto Zitrax, that would certainly be nice. Can't the Venomant... No, I guess the Venomant is 5. So he can build Spirit Vessel, but...
Yeah, Veno would be second choice, but since it's not a core Veno, then I think you want to build it on Spirit Breaker, but he can't. So the game is really hard for Dire right now.
This is so stupid. Why couldn't you use Oak Outposts under smoke? I don't understand that one.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Wish
I think it should be
coming
same
in
with
the
towers.
haste. Surged up, looking for a target. Excalibur, meanwhile, going to be seen here. Oh, Tiny does actually find Iron here, but Iron has the TP, and the rest of Singularity are TPing in to back up their buddies, so Iron's going to be absolutely fine. Does cancel that TP home as he realizes that there is no kill threat onto him. Very weak gank attempt there from Wind and Rain. Going onto that middle lane, but Singularity see them and just avoid them. They're not quite fast enough to close that gap without any kind of blinks, so nobody ends up dying.
The saving grace for Dire right now is the fact that PL is free farming the whole game. And I think PL can probably carry this game if his team does the correct moves.
Yeah, Nefrit's a pretty good PL as well. I remember him from a long time ago actually playing Phantom Lancer in a game. I can't remember which one, but he impressed me.
Oh, this looks like Radiant are gonna get both outposts.
Yeah, Nefrit's making absolutely no movements up, and Zitrax is here anyway. Feels kind of rough. Meanwhile, in comes Niqua, charging up Nature's Prophet. Excalibur just sitting behind his teams at all opportunities. Comes the trees out onto Niqua, but there's no real damage. Just a bit of harass out there from DNZ. Look at DNZ. He's got drums, he's got Blightstone, he's got power treads, headdress as well. He's feeling pretty strong right now. Even going for a Helm of the Dominator, which is going to be fantastic for his Treants.
Oof. He's even level 10. He's a higher level than Hestacho.
Oh,
This
that's
man
not
is a
what you like to
beast.
see. Every single bounty rune and both of the outposts is just going to create such a huge advantage for Team Singularity as their net worth advantage ticks over 8k gold. Whew. What's the plan now then?
I have no idea. I mean, this Darkseer, he has Soul Ring. Level of 15, he has Soul Ring and nothing else.
That's not true. He's got a keen optic.
That's true, but he stole that from the neutrals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They need items right now. I feel like it's really similar to the first game, but the first game Dire team had Sven. This game Dire team has PL, which only hits creeps and does nothing else.
And one day he'll stop hitting creeps, and he is hitting the creeps quite well, and he's keeping tracks with Zitrax, who had such an amazing start to the game. With the Diffusal as well, it's going to make him a pretty scary force, you know. Leshrac is going to absolutely hate playing the game against his Phantom Lancer now. Every single fight he's just going to find himself surrounded by illusions who just tap him once before they die and take his mana away. Very annoying. Do these teams have a chance to qualify? These teams are fighting for their chance to qualify for the minor. This is a minor playoff match, which means these teams both scored 4th in their groups, and the winner of this best of 3 will be going through to the minor qualifiers.
Who else is there? At Venom and what's the other team?
Ooh, well, it'll be the loser of Alliance versus Enigma.
Oh, Viking Chi-Chi. Those are solid teams.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Ooh, they're smoking for the top lane.
Gonna be a fight breaking out here. Wish coming in from behind, try to go for the quick break off onto Excalibur, but then comes that shallow grave. He's still got a ton of mana to throw out, so he's just gonna turn around and start fighting, and Boogie just gets annihilated, as does Yol. It's a bad start to the fight for Wind and Rain. Excalibur in the trees, they want to at least get this one kill, and with the tree, they will be able to bring him down. Niqua charging through these trees right now, but Niqua now being beaten down. Zitrax is gonna find him in the trees, chasing him around. Niqua trying to go for the jukes. Pretty nicely done actually here, as he's able to find himself a little bit of safety. Nefrit, meanwhile, meanwhile, getting beaten down, but he's okay for the time being. Enigma just comes flying back out again. Not quite sure if that's the play, buddy. He's now being chased down and will be killed off by that poison touch from mine. Meanwhile, Nefrit throwing some spells down at them from the high ground, like the peasants below they are. Now an avalanche toss, and they're going to grab Iron and finally get him down. Meanwhile, Hestejo being beaten in by Nefrit. Where is this Morphling? I think he's actually... He's behind him, but he can't actually get over there in time.
They're
Hestejo's
still
going to
fighting
die.
this. If they find Morphling.
Yeah, this could be really bad. He doesn't have enough mana to TP. Zitrax, he's got nothing to do but die. Everybody comes in. And DNZ, oh dear God, that's not a good idea. Luckily, they don't have any more stuns to throw out, but that was 5 kills. Back to back to back for Wind and Rain. What a disastrous fight.
Yeah, this was awful for SNG. I mean, I want to commend Wind and Rain for, first of all, they placed Vision on the high ground next to the shrine, which was extremely helpful for the fight. So that's like the first step to winning the fight. And second thing they did correctly is focusing the Leshrac down. Because once Leshrac is dead, most of Radiant damage is dead. So they managed to kill him, and for some reason SNG just continued to fight. And I mean, they died.
Ooh. Didn't spot that one, but Yol trying to take the throne, take the outpost. It's more accurate. Definitely wasn't on the throne just yet. Ooh, okay.
And this PL is starting to become really fat. His top 1 net worth. The essence shrink is surprisingly good on the hero. The embrace also really good. It's really solid items for 19 minutes in.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, he's doing pretty damn well. And the Tiny as well, picking up this BKB, going to make him even more of a force in the next fight. And you saw he just didn't have any fear. Popped the drums and just ran into the fight. And finds himself, like, just threatens the... It was the Leshrac. Yeah, he brought the Leshrac down really low. I mean, Leshrac was still able to get a lot of his mana off as damage, thanks to the Dazzle, but still wasn't able to be much of a factor in terms of his stuns or anything like that.
Yeah.
Wind and Rain now trying to find a bit of aggressive movement on the map right now. Want to use this timings as an advantage. Leaving the bottom runes, but they did manage to grab an outpost this time around. Always feels
Tiny
nice.
just finished BKB, so that's a big time for them.
That's the timing, yeah. And Nequid does have his Urna Shadows now. 2 braces, Urna Shadows. Positively over-farmed now.
Yeah, this last fight helped them a lot.
What about Centaur? Where's he at? He is going for the pipe after all. Okay. So yeah, went Hood, Blink, back for the pipe. I like that a lot. Saves
Yeah,
you
I think
from-
this is the correct build.
Yeah, saves
Then
you
he
from the
should
tiny
probably
damage.
go for... Yeah, then he should probably go for Crimson.
Yeah, especially versus PL. Crimson's just really nice for mitigating the damage of all these illusions.
Exactly. Excalibur has Bloodstone. That's interesting.
Yeah, Bloodstone with Boots of Travel certainly seems like a strange one, because the Boots of Travel are kind of to make it, allow you to go back to base loads and get your mana back, so you don't really need to build mana items. You can maybe just go like, well, usually we see yours anyway, but still, I mean, Leshrac just rips through his mana pool anyway, but yeah, as you say, instead, going for the Bloodstone, wants to be able to stay on map, wants to be able to be a factor, and not overly reliant on the ping pong back to base and out onto lane, back to base, out onto lane.
Yeah, I just think Bloodstone is a really good item on Intel heroes like Storm and Leshrac right now, since you're using Kaya to build it.
Radiant structures
Yeah,
are
true.
I
It's a
think-
really nice build-up.
The item is pretty strong. And at the beginning we were saying that Boots of Travel is not that good of item, but I think it ended up being fine because they were winning the early game so hard.
Middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, the pressure it allows you to put on is pretty invaluable. Well, Zitrax still just farming up in this bottom lane. He's managed to find himself an Imp Claw in the jungle, Morbid Mask, Dragonlance, and going in towards the BKB, which he has just now finished up. Buys out the whole damn thing like the buller he is. And maybe they look for an engagement. I mean, one of them top lane. That tower did eventually fall. But that just now was that a while ago. No, that was a while ago. Must have been the
think it
engagement
was-
on top.
Yeah, it was before the fight.
What do you think of the new heroes? I can't imagine you've been playing either of them on the offlane so much.
I played Void Spirits a bit. Played what, like one game of Sniper Fire. There's a fight.
They're running in right now, but can't really find and engage. Okay, Wish, there we go. That's a big target. DNZ manages to find it. Don't worry, team. I'll grab him. Does manage to get him in the trees. Wish. Oh, he even pops a BKB as he tries to run away. That is very costly. That's a whole 10-second BKB charge now. Gun as Neek was being chased. He turns around with the ultimate, accepting his fate and diving headfirst into his murderers. As now they look over towards this Roche pit. Hester Joe, Excalibur, Zitrax all straight up inside here, taking down the big scaly beast. And it's not going to take them too long. So should DNZ and Iron coming to join them.
I don't know. SNG are just making way better moves on the map for the last 10 minutes. Even though they threw the fight up, they're just making way better moves.
Yeah, they're keeping their advantage on their favor. Playing very objective-based Dota, and that Roshan's going to put them in a really good place to try and take the next fight as well, and maybe look towards taking a couple more of those tier 2 towers and securing themselves more of the map. Coming up to the 25-minute mark so far. An outpost is controlled by the Dire down at bottom, and it's pretty risky to go for that one. I mean, it's very difficult to... Maybe actually DNZ could do it.
Yeah, I think he might. If he sees heroes on the map, I think he'll go for it.
Yeah,
But doing it when he has no vision of enemy heroes is kind of weird.
yeah, for sure.
They might be waiting for him.
There's a ping. I think that was actually from the PL there. Yeah,
Yeah,
PL and
the
Nature's
Dire are
Prophet as
setting
well.
up, but
They're like,
waiting for
where
the
is this guy? Where are you? We know what your game is, son. Oh, that's interesting. DNZ actually has the Crimson Guard queued up. And that's going to free up
Oh.
the Sentinel to go for something else.
Yeah, I like that. It's fine because there are probably no better items to build on Prophet. And Centaur has some other possibilities like Shiva.
Alrighty, tier 3 items, let's go baby! And Morphling immediately finds 2. The Balanced Orb of Destruction. This thing's pretty disgusting. -6 armor, just 1 less armor taken away than the Desolator. But the Quickening Charm, which might be one of the better ones. Haven't seen so much of it and the impact it can have.
It's 13% cooldown reduction.
Yeah, I'd rather see this on Yol, perfectly honest, but they've got it on the Darkseer currently. Also a good target for it.
Alright.
Fight's breaking out right now. Zitrax having to put his BKB very early on into this one. He's trying to deal with Wish, but now they look over towards Yol, and Yol just gets torn apart. Meanwhile, Nikwa coming in, charging into this fight. With this wall down, they're doing a fair amount of damage. Zitrax in trouble. He's pushed up to the high ground, though. He's going to be able to get the waveform down to the low ground. Now he's going to get himself out. Meanwhile, Hesjo won't be so lucky. He's going to get dropped. Meanwhile, Aegis is popped on Excalibur in the wall as he's immediately being jumped on, trying to go for the TP out, but that's not happening. Excalibur's going to die again here. And another fight going the way of Wind and Rain. This
Oh no.
is bad.
This was hard because they had wards on the high ground for majority of the fight.
Yikes. Now they force the buyback, but there's no buyback on the left track. 50 seconds until he's back into this one. Use the trees to try and slow things down a little bit, but Wish doesn't care. He can just hit right through him. Not bothered in the slightest, and this tower is eventually going to fall here. That's going to open up some shrines. Beyond Nefrit, jumping forwards onto Iron. DNZ in some trouble as well. There is a charge coming in, but that's from all the way across the map. So not going to be landing anytime soon. I think they will be able to back out here. Yeah, so they saved their barracks, but Jesus, that was so costly for Singularity there. I mean, that fight just happened so quickly, and all of a sudden, Singularity, they just get completely disrupted.
I mean, I like the idea of basically forcing a fight after getting Aegis, but the problem is that they're fighting somewhere where they don't have any vision and Dire have extremely good vision, which I think lost them the fight. And now the game is getting pretty hard for Radiant, because if you look at the network graph, Darkseer, Veno and Spiritbreaker, they have basically nothing, but PL and Tiny have extreme, like, a lot of net worth. So this PL is able to almost carry the team fights alone. All the free heroes needs to do is just, you know, does their spells and that's it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, this PL, he's getting so much damage off in this fight, and now he's got the Heart of Tarrasque as well, which is another fantastic item for him to pick up. They don't have much AoE lockdown on the side of Singularity. In fact, only one spell. So he's going to be easily be able to jump in and out of these fights with the Heart of Tarrasque, heal himself up, and go back in. It's a tough one right now. Morphling, he needs just a couple more items to be able to keep up with his Phantom Lancer, but he's somehow fallen pretty far behind just from the last engagement and the movements around the map that PL's been making.
Haste.
Coming up on that 30-minute mark right now, and Singularity getting choked off the map a little bit here as Wind and Rain take this outpost off. Trying to search for Dazzle, but the Dizzler's gone down the lane. He's looking for some creeps, looking to push some things out.
Radiant's top
Could die for this one. I think he's okay with that. No one's going to get hit quickly enough. He's going to kill the creep wave and get out. Very nice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But that doesn't really matter, because Tiny's hitting a tower, and he's now picked himself up a Hyper Stone. He's got the drum, he's got the Sanjin Yasha, and with this tree...
Tiny is fed.
Yeah.
Oh my.
He just destroys towers now. Look at this man go. Stun comes out onto the Tiny, but a charge in response here. It's going to be bad. They've managed to grab the Dazzle on the backlines here, but an attack cross over from Zitrax. Going to keep them off him. He's still trying to play around with them. He goes in super deep right now. BKB pop. Nico finally dropped that ultimate onto him. Not getting that much done to Zitrax. Meanwhile, Excalibur, he's dropping low. A charge comes through. The damage is there. Excalibur getting himself away. The poison nova's on him as well, so we can't really afford to stay in this fight anymore. Meanwhile, the Zac, oh, beautiful vacuum coming them back. All of them caught out by the Venomous Gale. They're trying to run, but they're slowed down, and Nefrit is just hounding on them right now. But that said, no one has actually died just yet. And it looks like the Centaur might survive as well. Yeah, he's definitely going to live. Zitrax, though, he's in pretty deep. The Invis going to help him out. A beautiful stun as well, holding back Wind and Rain. Wind and Rain, though, they're not done right now. They're staying on the high ground. Nikwa has eventually died, and that is a signal that Wind and Rain need to back themselves away. Singularity make a crucial hold here. They keep them off their high ground. They hold the fight steady. I'm with some perfect graves in that one. There were so many targets for him to grave, but he chooses the right one each time, holds back just a little bit, and is able to keep his team healthy. But that said, they have lost both outposts at this 30-minute mark, and Bounty Runes look like they're going to be headed towards Wind and Rain as well as Yol heads towards the bottom side of the map. That said, DNT, he's on the case. He's going to get his team some money. Don't worry about it, guys. He's here to help out.
DNC has cute Mjolnir in his quick buy.
Yeah, he's ready for the megas.
I mean, it's fine. If he gets to it, I think it's okay item against PL. When he's pretty fat, so I don't mind.
Where did the mango tree go?
I think they cut it down.
Monsters.
Exactly. Is anyone having a really good level 30 here?
Level 30?
Yeah.
Well, Morphling does. Morphling's pretty insane. Just having the two wave form and 3 adaptive strike charges. Sorry, not the charges on the adaptive strike, the multi-shot on it. And then, yeah, he's gone for the wave form. You get the cooldown. Yeah, it's probably the most insane one. One of the best in the game, I'd say, for Morphling. But he's a long way off. He's level 20 right now. I wonder what PL's is like. It's alright.
It's alright.
I guess the 5 juxtaposed illusions heads into the late game pretty nicely.
Yeah. I feel like the most OP level 30 heroes are those who basically have like talent where you pick like one of the upgrade that you basically have 2 upgrades for 1 spell.
Yeah.
For example,
yeah.
Monkey King's level 25. You get either the AoE or you get the armor. But if you get level 30, you have extreme AoE and you have armor.
Twitch chat would like to know who you think is going to win.
Not sure. To be honest, at this moment it kinda looks like Wind and Rain. Because I think this PL is unstoppable. Which I was kinda afraid of from the draft. Because I think like PL versus Morphling matchup is really good for PL. And I'm not sure if this Lash can carry carry the game against PL alone.
Well, he's being beelined for in almost every single fight. The Tiny just runs him down. And interesting that Excalibur now goes for the 3 points in Pulse Nova. It's going to be very, very hefty on his mana pool, but I think he feels like he just needs that burst damage in the fights to be able to bring heroes down. Not doing enough right now. One thing I liked was when I saw somebody go for so they leveled up Pulse Nova to level 1. And then just waited until level 20, got the Pulse Nova damage. This was a position 4 Leshrac, by the way. And yeah, he never leveled up Pulse Nova, but he got the 20 talent off the 20 Pulse Nova damage. So his mana usage was very efficient for a position 4 Leshrac without any items.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's very efficient.
That's yeah, I like that. Dazzle has queued up X, which is to be honest, I'm not sure what the new X does. I know it's more healing, increases heal targets, bounce rate, and dispels each target. So the dispel is kinda nice. I'm not sure if it dispels venomous scale. I think it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you can just hop over the spell, and if it says dispellable, then
yeah. So it scale is not gonna be a problem afterwards.
Attitude asks, who would win if you were still active?
Who would win? I mean, that's Radiant for sure.
Yeah. Very unbiased opinions here.
I mean, I don't want to hate on Hester Joe, but I mean, he's a good player. Nothing but respect for him, but
he's no Sableye.
Exactly. If we would compare me and him, there's big difference.
Well, they're going to take that top outpost together. Hester Joe and Excalibur quickly grabbing that one. Meanwhile, they've actually found the Tiny back here. Oh, and get yourself to safety, my boy. He's managed to get that magic cloak onto himself, getting that invisibility, but he's still being chased right now. Wish is just a bit of a monster. 4.2k HP on this Tiny. And he doesn't really have that many tanky items. He's got BKB and Drum and Sanjin Yasha, but he looks absolutely huge for some reason. Where's all his HP coming from?
Who's PLs?
Tinies.
Or Tinies. Yeah, I don't know. Tiny is such a weird hero. Because he has...
When did he get 4.1 strength gain?
4. Yeah. I think that's since the new patch.
Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah,
so,
that's pretty mental.
Yeah, this hero is actually insane with the new weight split. Because at level 15 you take 400 health. At level 20 you get 20 strength, which is once again 400 health. And you have 4 free strength again, which is 80 health per level. So 80 times 20, that's oof.
20 times 80 is 800 times 2, which is 1,600, right?
Exactly.
Meanwhile,
so
Roche has indeed fallen. They had a canary in the pit. You know, back in the mining days, whenever they were mining into new cavities, they used to take canaries with them. And if the canary died, then they knew that the air was poisonous and they need to get out as quickly as possible, because canaries have much smaller lungs than humans. Therefore, they die much quicker if there's like poisoned or low oxygen air. So the miners used to take the canaries with them. When the canaries died, they'd know to leave. And that's what Singularity did. They put a courier in the Roche pit. When the courier died to the Tiny splash damage, they know Roche is being taken. Unfortunately, they did not much with that information, but there you go. We're learning, guys. We're learning.
It's a nice story.
Meanwhile, Excalibur's just sitting on the front lines right now, but he's taking a fair amount of damage. He's taking a walloping, actually. He's nullified, but in comes the Lotus to return the nullification. Taking everything all right as Wish is dropping kind of low here. The Stampede's being popped by Hester Joe, but he's just running in circles. Nikwa is going to be the target, though. Nikwa will drop. Wish with the BKB being a bit of a threat. Zitrax on the back lines, though, also just trying to fight up into Wish. Excalibur trying to TP back to the fountain. Meanwhile, in they go onto Hester Joe, and they're just tearing him apart with that nullifier. They've got a mountain of Phantom Lancers just taking down these barracks right now. DNZ having trouble just with this morphing illusion as well. Meanwhile, they jump in forward past the PL. They will be able to take him down once at the very least. Can they do it again? They're going to have to time the stun, but it's not on cooldown. Meanwhile, DNZ just TP straight up into the front lines right now, trying to grab Nefrit, but can't quite find him. They'll grab the Darkseer instead. Darkseer slowly losing his health, and he is going to go down here. Now look for more. A stun comes out. They've managed to cap the Venomancer as well. Yol is going to die to Hester Joe. He finds himself a little solo on the back lines of the fights. Meanwhile, everybody else has been able to get themselves away, and that is going to put an end to that engagement. So Singularity will hold just about, and it didn't actually cost them any buybacks, I don't think.
I think he has the Joe bot back, right?
Yes, yeah, has Joe, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I think this was still a fine fight for Singularity. They got 1.5k gold from it and 5k XP advantage. I think that's actually even more worth than the Raxes.
Really?
Because Lash doesn't mind out pushing lane. So I think, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like extremely worth it, but I would say it's fine. I wouldn't mind this if I was SMG.
Yeah, you can justify it to yourself if you're SNG.
Yeah.
And maybe they can find something from this. I mean, taking down the Aegis is a big deal as well, and this is going to slow down Wind and Rain. They won't want to go high ground without this Aegis after how that fight has gone. You feel on the back foot now. You feel like you can't really take fights. It's too risky, so they're going to want to wait. This is going to give time for Singularity to find their next items and maybe find an entry point, find a pick-off, something to possibly look at that Roshan. It's a really long way off, but it is what we're looking for now.
Depends on what they do. If they take the tier 2 mid, I think that's plenty. And I don't think they'll even do that. It's pretty greedy.
Yeah, it'd be a big ask with these three big heroes up. The thing is, these three heroes, they're strong, and what's more is that they can delay. If they want to buy back on the Veno and Darkseer, try and turn it into a full team fight, they've got a shrine, they've got a tier 2 tower, they've got a North Shrine as well, so they can definitely delay really, really heavily with a Spirit Breaker and with a Tiny, and obviously the PL is going to be very annoying as well. It's going to be very hard to disengage from this if you do want to go for this tier 2, so you have to be prepared to take a full-on team fight, and you just don't want to do that whilst BKBs are on cooldown. But by the time the BKBs are off cooldown, that means the Darkseer is pretty much going to be back, so I don't really think it's an option.
Exactly. Let's talk about Tiny. This hero is so, so I don't know. It feels broken because
It does.
Just from levels you get 2,400 HP just by basically leveling up. But then from items you get like more. So this guy has 76% physical resist and 4,000 HP. I'm not sure how they ever kill him.
It's pretty insane, isn't it, when you look at it that way? 60 bonus damage, and I don't know the tree throw stats or tree grab stats because you never see it in game because he's always got a tree, so you never actually get to look at the spell. So let me just go into the hero menu. Tree grab grabs a tree to whack him in the head. Blah 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 blah. Statistics. So bonus unit damage 10, 20, 30, 40%. Okay, bonus building damage 140% at max level is pretty bananas. Obviously the extra attack range, splash damage 60% and throw splash 150%. So, you know, the splash damage doesn't seem that good, but the bonus building damage is just absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. This hero is crazy.
Yeah, he's in a strange place, but let's see. We're yet to see, you know, the actual LAN events take place on the new patch, so I think that's when you start to see the real metas developed. I will be surprised if Tiny and Puck don't become the first kind of tier 1 pick and bans pretty much permanently. I think Puck seems really good as well, but he's not in that game, so this game,
Puck is
we'll talk about
also broken.
Yeah. He's fun to play in the offlane now as well.
Yeah, I play him a lot. I feel like this is the strongest hero in the patch.
Yeah.
Just because of how he got buffed. And because if you silence a hero when he's basically like taking outpost, you're gonna cancel it. I feel like that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange one, and he's got so many ways to cancel outposts being taken, well, two, but it's enough. And the split push ability now with his level 10 talent is completely insane as well.
True.
So, coming up on the 40th minute mark, Singularity do take a small step back into this game, but taking a barracks never feels that great. But as you mentioned, they've got the Leshrac and they've also got the Nature's Prophet, two heroes which are very capable of splitting lanes. It is going to create possibly some kill opportunities for Wind and Rain, however, up in this top lane as people come to push it out. They are already looking for that as well as they make their way up north to push in this top tower, take care of these treants. Nefret, he's all over it. What's he going for next? He's looking for the Doom build. Pocket Doom. Bloodthorn plus Nullifier equals no more enemy heroes.
Yeah, I like it. But on the other hand, Radiant, not only do they have Lotus on Centaur, but they're also gonna have... Oh, they already have X on Dazzle, so he can purge both these things just with his heal, which has 4-second cooldown.
Yo, they found him here. He's struggling in the trees right now, gets hit, and now they're on top of him, and this is going to be a Venomancer possibly going down, but Wish is coming in, trying to save the day. Zitrax looks over to him, and he's actually going to get the poison over off before he goes down. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, so they will finish the job, but I say that Nick was flying into this one, 3-man stun. Vacuum comes out as well. They're holding him still. Now Stampede comes down. They're trying to take this fight all the same. Zitrax on the back line manages to pick off Buki, but now he's silenced up. He's stuck in the anti-fall. Luckily, the Sword comes out onto him. He's going to purge that off, and he can turn around, pop that BKB, and maybe take the fight into Nefrit right now. But Nefrit, he is just all over the place. In fact, he's not even here. He's gone. See you later, boys.
Spider legs. Oh my god.
So like giving the Tiny an avenue of escape. DNZ coming in. Beautiful block there. You could eat one tree, but he can't eat two. Oh, apparently he can. I don't know what. Oh, spider legs again. Okay, well, we're still on the run from this one as he tosses up the centaur. And spider legs in 3, 2, 1.
Oh
Go, Wish,
God.
go! Oh no, there's more heroes in this direction. Another TP from DNZ as Wish is just buying them all the time in the world. Surely this is it. Yeah, they will finally bring down Wish as he keeps on getting away with those damn spindly legs of his, Tiny. But
That's such a good item against Prophet.
yeah, I've
Because it's-
never thought about that before.
Invisibility.
Nice
So
trees,
you know-
idiot.
Dire's
Yeah.
middle
How many
tower is
bounties
under
are they gonna
attack.
get from this? They have Prophet, so DNZ should be able to collect the top ones. But he's too scared.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a win. Doesn't want to give his life for the bounties. Yeah, he's going for the full Mjolnir, so DNZ happy to transition into a bit of a right clicker in this one. And when you're looking
Yeah.
at the 40-minute mark, that's exactly what you want.
The seeds of fortune.
New items, finally.
Oh yeah, here we go. Some more neutrals. Now, the Magic Lamp is an interesting one. In
Who
one
has
of our
Magic
games...
Lamp?
uh,
Like overall.
No, someone did pick it up. Darkseer's got
Oh.
it.
It's basically like better Etherlands, right?
Better A. No, it's like a...
I mean,
Aeon disc.
Aeon disc. Sorry.
I wouldn't say it's a better Aeon disc. Because it's
I feel
only
like it's better-
300 heal. It doesn't prevent you taking damage for any time.
True, but it's at 15%, so that's when you need it.
True. That does make a difference. The heal is tiny though. I don't know why the heal's so small. That's the biggest thing I find. Like, you can barely tell when it's being used. It's so small.
I mean, Aeon disc doesn't give you any HP.
Yeah, it stops you taking damage for 4 seconds though, doesn't it?
That's true. That's true.
It's the big difference. 4 seconds of spell immunity is very tasty. What's your favorite of all the neutral items?
The Helm of Undying is pretty cool. What else?
Mine is Flicker. 100% Flicker.
Flicker is pretty cool. I hope we're gonna see some cool Flicker action on Dazzle. Oh, he has the Spell Prism. This is pretty
Oh
huge.
no,
That's-
he's got Flicker and Spell Prism. He's got a
can
2
flicker.
second flicker.
2
What
seconds.
the hell? What? They've given him the magic lamp. Dazzle's just turned. He's just turned into a carry
Oh
from all the
my.
neutral items he's been given.
I can't wait for a team fight where Dazzle flickers every 2 seconds. That's gonna be insane.
He's not gonna know where he is. The enemy's not gonna know where he is. No one's gonna look at him go. He's just testing it right now, going, is this balanced?
Unless you stun this one, there's no way you're catching him. He also, with the Spell Prism, he also has almost zero downtime on the Glamour Cape. It's
Yeah.
5 seconds and it has 5.6 second cooldown, so pretty cool. What other new items are here?
You can check if you open up the menu and click on the some of the teams. We've got Ninja Gear.
Ninja Gear on Tiny. I think
imagine this giant rock mountain-like thing trying to be a ninja. Don't really see it. He's also got spider legs as well, so just very
elusive.
unlaw friendly. Yeah,
Yeah.
very elusive. This giant rock man.
I feel like this Ninja Gear could be even fine on PL instead of his boots.
Yeah.
Not sure. It's probably not that big of a difference.
To be fair, we've seen how valued the spider legs were, though. So I
Yeah.
don't see why you'd get rid of them.
No one PL. He has
Oh,
treads.
PL, sorry.
The
Yeah,
thing
that's
is,
true. You can definitely swap them.
oh, they're smoking into them.
In fact, you can give them the ninja gear. It gives you plus 20 agility.
Yeah.
Anyway, Singularity looking to maybe start a bit of a fight here. Excalibur just charging up the high ground right now.
Dire
And-
still have one more item to find. I feel like if they find the Illusionist's Cave, that could be huge. That could be game winning.
Yeah, you're not even wrong. That would be completely ridiculous. DNZ, TP's in. I think they're pinging in here. They might have known this. And Yola's actually called out here. Then comes a charge. They're going to turn this around onto DNZ. Meanwhile, Tiny, he's looking straight over towards Excalibur. Excalibur, plenty tanky as he runs forwards into this one. The BKB pop from Wish. Meanwhile, on the back lines, they go for the kill. They will be able to take down Yol, but he gets off the ultimate all the same. Meanwhile, Nefrit joins the fight. In comes a wall. They're trying to fight him up right now. But Singularity are holding pretty damn well. Zitrak's the only one taking any damage. And Tiny, he's going to get brought down. Singularity holding very, very well here. They'll look over towards Nefrit. Nefrit's on the run, trying to go for the DP. Hesjo, can he get the stun? No, he cannot. Doesn't have the range, doesn't have the time. Meanwhile, Yol might die back here, actually. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get away from these guys. Stuns at the ready. But he's pretty fast for a little worm. And that answer will get himself back up into high ground.
Ray didn't have both outposts and probably all 4 bounties. This is huge.
Yeah. And did you see the Dazzle in that fight?
Yeah, he was doing so much. I wasn't looking at the flicker, but I saw the heals.
I saw the heals, and I saw like the fact that he wasn't on low HP, and that just enough is, you know, he's been beeline for every single fight, and the fact that you just can't do that anymore is kind of ridiculous. He's just blinking around all over. You can blink inside Avalanche. That's the craziest thing.
Oh, that's true. You can.
Trying real hard to get at the the flicker is not with him. Oh, there we go. So you need to control the flicker.
Okay, they have Axe on DNC, so his ulti becomes even more annoying now. And everyone's reaching level 25s. Everyone except for Centaur and the 3 Dire Heroes. Level 25 already.
Oh, game did not like that illusion rune, that's for sure. I love that Iron's just spamming this.
By the
Why
way,
not?
the last item Dire got was Telescope, which I feel like is the worst tier 4 item.
Yeah, that feels bad. I think that one's one of the ones where you're just like, well,
Yeah,
there you go, support. And support's like, yeah, get a tier 4 item. You sure do, buddy.
I feel like this should be like a tier 3 item, and even then it would be meh.
It would be. It would be. I mean, scan is useful, but just not that useful. And bonus attack range is so pitiful. The bonus cast range is okay. Toss back onto Excalibur, throwing him pretty severely out of position, forcing that BKB charge out of him nice and early here. He doesn't have the Aegis, he's only got the cheese. The Aegis enters in the hands of the Morph.
Dire's
But
bottom
now that
shrine
they've
is
broken
under
high
attack.
ground, they can look to take themselves some shrines. Down goes the first one. Oh, Excalibur's 25 in case you didn't know. Healing explosions are a pretty good indicator of that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden-
Dazzle is extremely fat. He's the highest level with Excalibur and PL.
Yeah.
Ah.
He's an insane place right now, Dazzle. He's a very potent core with this Spell Prism and Flicker combination. It's actually kind of berserk. Throwing the Aghanim Scepter and you've got yourself a very powerful little hero here.
Yeah.
Does Telescope work for melee heroes? I don't actually know. I wouldn't have thought so, otherwise it would be really good. Well, maybe not really good, but...
I don't think.
Dire's
I mean,
top shrine
the
has fallen.
cast range works for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Attack
yeah.
range, I don't think so.
Attack range. Let's see. Come on, walk out of his range. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem to be changing. Nope, it does not. Again, you know, just constantly learning. Wait, what is the range? Yeah, it's pretty big range. Walk closer to him again. See, I'm doubting myself now. Walk close to each other. Jesus, get in each other's range. Tiny doesn't matter. There you go. Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't. That took a little bit too long. Anyway, Singularity trying to clear out the vision on the outside of the enemy base right now, making themselves well-known presence. Meanwhile,
Having
Nefrit just trying to use his illusions as the best he can.
26k gold lead.
Oh, Wish just comes
Yeah.
flying out right now. Look at him go with the spider legs, just jumping in, but they actually hold him still in the middle of the air. But Spirit Breaker's the one who gets stunned up and brought down, and terribly sorry, I'm not too sure what actually happened there. I think Nikwa tried to jump in, but might have got caught in midair with a stun. Zitrak's a little bit low on mana, at the very least, and Yol just gonna pop off the ultimate, and nice fish, wall comes out with the vacuum as well. They're immediately turning the damage off onto Boogie. I'm not sure he's gonna survive this one, trying to get himself away. Magic Lamp buys him a tiny bit of time, but he still does get dropped. Buyback from Boogie. There is no buyback on the... Oh god, Excalibur on the front line. Now he does have this cheese whenever this graze ends, so could maybe look for the turnaround here. Yol's going to be thrown onto him right now, but I'm not sure Yol wanted that, as he's going to get it blown up immediately. On Zotrak losing his health very quickly, but there comes a grave out from Iron. Once again, they'll jump forwards. Poison Touch thrown down onto Wish, as he turns around with a beautiful avalanche onto 3 heroes, slowing them down, but for what cost is there onto him immediately. He throws back Zitrak, but Zitrak's back on him like a rash. Blinks forward, stun up. Tiny's getting brought down low, and Wish will be finished off, but in comes Nefrit, looking to make something happen here. Another vacuum, holding them steady. Boogie trying to fight as they just hold the high ground here on Singularity. 2 heroes dead. They might have just won this one, as they've got Nefrit stunned up, but they need the damage follow-up right now. The Morphling is just not here currently. He's actually back at base, waiting. He's got the boots of travel to come back into this one. Meanwhile, by the time he's gone, his team is still doing absolutely fine, and Joe, he's just with the singular retaliate charge, is going to be able to finish off that ranged Rax. Middle barracks going down as well. Bottom barracks going to be the next port of call for Singularity. They might be evening this series up right now. 40k goal advantage. Very hard to see Wind and Rain coming back from this one. And in goes Snefrit, jumping in immediately. The Aegis is gone, but just as quickly the Phantom Lancer gets vaporized. Wish trying to fight it up, cleaving through 4 heroes, but they just don't care. He's just not doing enough damage. Iron in the backlines trying to play around right now. Does get jumped on by the Spirit Breaker. Also comes onto him as well. It's a lot of damage, and the Nullifier means that, actually it gets broken. And now he can just blink himself up onto the high ground. Flicker coming in very useful as he plays around this fight right now. Meanwhile, Wish gets brought down on the front lines. It looks like Nefrit's going to be dropped as well. Nikwa's still trying to fight up. It's not happening though. Nefrit's going to get dropped and the GG is called. The game goes to Singularity. We go into a game 3.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like what lost, or like the things I didn't like in the late game for Wind and Rain, is first of all the Darkseer. I feel like this hero didn't do anything the whole game.
Agreed.
And secondly, I feel like the build on PL is incorrect. I feel like first of all, he should have went for the crit talent, so they have enough damage. That's thing number 1. And thing number 2 is going the Nullifier Bloodthorn build feels really bad because they have so many debuffs. I don't think he managed to like use it correctly once. I think if he went for something like Skadi, or I mean even Abyssal Blade, would have had much higher impact.
I hate to kind of say this, it's a pretty bad thing not to know, but it is a new patch. I think Nefrit might not have clocked the Dazzle Aghanims now applying a Dispel, because that is just a pretty hard counter to both this Nullifier and Bloodthorn purchase, which made him feel so useless later on in the game. Do you think that's a fair shout?
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Probably because, for example, I didn't know about the Dazzle Axe at all.
Yeah, you got to be on the ball with these sorts of things, otherwise you find yourself in a very unwinnable situation, which Wind and Rain eventually got themselves in. Let's just have a quick look at that net worth graph, and what a slow takeoff there, eventually ending up nearly 50k net worth ahead and nearly 75k experience ahead as well, which is pretty berserk. But that's the nature of the game right now. Things start to snowball pretty quickly once you get control of the map, making utilization of the outposts and the bounty runes. We're going to take a short break, and then we will be back with the final game here in this best of 3 series of Team Singularity versus Wind and Rain. My name is Nomad, he's been Saberlight, and we'll see you very shortly for game number 3.